This is the third problem from Objective 8. Jeff used the indirect method of measurement to find the height of a flagpole. He first placed a mirror on the ground 98 feet from the flagpole. The dimensions Jeff measured are shown in the drawing. So here's our flagpole, and here he's placed a mirror 98 feet from the flagpole. He stood on the other side of the mirror, and he was back about 14.5 feet, and his eyes are 5.5 feet above the ground, and he looked and he saw a reflection of the top of the flagpole. So what we have here are two triangles, and these two angles here are congruent. This is the angle of incidence, and that's the angle of reflection, and they are congruent. We also know that the flagpole here is perpendicular to the ground, and Jeff is also standing perpendicular to the ground. So what we have are two triangles with two sets of congruent angles. And from the angle-angle similarity theorem in geometry, we know that these two triangles are similar to each other. And if they're similar, then their sides are proportional. What we want to find out is, what is the approximate height of the flagpole? So this is what we're looking for here, the height of the flagpole. So let's see, we'll set up a proportion, and let's have the numerator be the height, and the denominator will be the distance from the mirror. So I'll just call that distance. So on this left triangle, his height is 5.5 feet, and the distance is 14.5 feet. On my right triangle, I don't know the height, that's my unknown, and my distance is 98 feet. So here's my proportion. Let's just change colors here a little bit. What we want to do with the proportion is cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply one denominator by the other numerator. Then I'm going to multiply the other two and set those equal to each other. So here we have 14.5x equals, and I'm not going to write it, I'm not going to multiply it out, I'll do it here in a minute. I'm just going to write them down. 5.5 times 98. And then we will be dividing by 14.5 to isolate x. So what we do to one side, we want to make sure and do to the other side. And my 14.5 will cancel, leaving x. And we'll just get the calculator and work this out. So I need 5.5 times 98, all that divided by 14.5. And we're getting approximately 37.17. And if we look over at our answers, here's 37.2, very close. So it's not too bad. Now let's just take another quick look and make sure this sounds reasonable. Here we're 14.5 feet away, and here we're 98 feet away. So I'm going to look at the calculator, and 98 is how much more than 14.5? It's almost 7 times. So if he's 5.5 feet, the flagpole should be almost 7 times 5.5. So 5.5 times 7 is 38.5, and that is a reasonable answer. So again, not too bad when we use our calculator. One thing you want to be very careful of is writing down what you're comparing so that you get your numerators correct and your denominators correct.